We are live. Okay, let me see. Let me just share this out. You guys know that's my dog. He's just a hot mess today. Okay, lay down, puppy. Lay down. Yeah, we're relaxed. We're going to be here for a while. Relax, big boy. Okay, let me see how I can share this out. And I'll give you guys some time to come in as well. And I'll give you guys some time to come. There we go. I had to turn you guys off. So, you know, the irony of this, you guys, is like I don't have Facebook on my computer. I think I'm actually going to move the dog out of here because he's clearly annoyed today. But I've got a super fun, juicy topic for everybody. And so I'm going to go ahead and we'll get started in just a second. Just you guys, if you could let me know that you can hear me and see me, that would be great. I'm going to talk about this topic. It's super important to me. And for women, like I just have a heart for women just knowing the truth about fitness and weight loss so that they can stop struggling. Because what I see is women who come to me, they've dieted multiple times, they keep gaining the weight back, they lose the weight back. They're like, why can't I just lose the weight and keep it off? And why do some women lose weight more easily than others? And so just give me 1 second while I share this to Facebook. With me. You guys are so patient. Thank you. I super, super appreciate it. All right, so this is going to be sort of like a training video, but you guys, if you have questions, please feel free to ask me in the chat. I'm happy to answer them. I'm going to share a little bit about my story. Honestly, okay, can I just keep it a buck with you guys? Okay, I'm going to tell you guys that I was going to make this the title of this video, why so many Black women are overweight, because this is like has nothing to do with like your hormones or you know, anything like that, or like your physical know-how and your ability to lose weight. But this is so much deeper than that. And I was gonna title that video, but I was scared, you guys. I was like so scared to title it that because I don't know, I felt like weird doing that. But I might change the title afterwards because I'm like, that's really what I wanted to title this. I wanted to be like, this is why so many Black women are overweight. It has nothing to do with your hormones or, your physical ability to lose weight, and all about the internal workings of your body and how that works. So if you guys don't know, I'm Jo. I am a certified personal trainer. I'm a health and nutrition coach. I'm a life coach. I'm a mindset coach, certified mindset coach. I have multiple years of experience in the health and fitness industry. I was an athlete. And I coach men and women how to release their emotional attachment to their bodies, release their emotional attachment to food, and learn how to live fit and flourishing lives that do not center around their bodies. And I have to tell you guys, I was a competitor for many years. I was a figure competitor, a bikini competitor. And so I was on the chicken and rice diet, chicken and asparagus diet for many years. I got down to about 119 pounds and then blew up to 180 pounds. When I was about 25, 26, I was 180 pounds, extremely bloated, pre-diabetic. And that's sort of when I realized that health and fitness really is an all-encompassing thing, and that we need to really take it from an internal perspective as opposed to just like, what's the next diet? What's the next workout? Because the truth is, the workout's not going to fix you, and neither is the exercise. So I want to talk about 4 areas, 4 reasons why some women can lose weight easily while others can't. And the first thing I want to talk about is I'm going to talk about myself as a Black woman, and I'm going to talk about what's culturally acceptable in the Black culture. The funny thing about Black culture is, ironically, when I was growing up, I was an athlete. So I was shaped, and I still am, you guys, shaped like a straight up rectangle. You can go to my Instagram, Joanna Joy _ with an I. I am shaped like a rectangle. Okay. And as an athlete, I was, it was like, I wasn't like curvy. I wasn't, what's traditionally considered a Black woman's body. Now I have a butt because I was a sprinter. So, if you know anything about sprinting, you got to have activated glutes, right? So but it was like, I didn't have that hourglass sort of like voluptuous figure that most Black women have that's culturally acceptable. And the reason why I bring that up is because when I talk to a lot of women about losing weight, they're like scared that they won't be attached to their culture if they get fit. And this happens with my Black clients. This happens with my clients who are of Latina, Hispanic descent. This happens to my clients who are, from other, countries, Middle Eastern. There's this idea that I'm not a woman if I don't have like this super curvy body. And oftentimes we want that over health. And here's the reality. In Black culture, it's acceptable to be bigger. We actually, I'm gonna say this and y'all gonna get mad. We actually don't know what it means to be overweight. Like, we're not interested in body fat percentages. We're not really interested in health. It's like, does it look good? Or I don't want to lose. I see so many women. I don't want to lose my butt and I don't want to lose my breasts. I'm like, do you know that that's fat tissue? Like, and not that all fat is bad fat, but it's like, if you're carrying an extra 40 pounds of fat on your body that you don't need, that's a problem. Not only for your health, like your heart health, your blood pressure, but we now know that, and so someone got mad at me in a group for saying this. We now know that a lot of people can go their entire life overweight, and then boom, the consequences hit them like that when they're like 70. Why? Because carrying that much weight over a long period of time is really hard on your body. But culturally, as a Black woman, I can tell you that it was culturally acceptable to be overweight. And in fact, then once I gained weight and it was like, oh, you thick, you looking better now. Mind you, I was like pre-diabetic, and my blood pressure was high, my A1C was high, and I never mind the fact that I just didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. I wasn't athletic, and it was like, "Ooh, you look good now." And then when I would lose weight, it's like, "You too skinny." The amount of Black women that are told they're too skinny when they are healthy is problematic. So a lot of women are stuck in this bondage of what's culturally acceptable versus what's healthy. And I want to be extra clear here. I am a body fat percentage type of coach, not a health coach, not a weight coach. So I literally, and y'all, my clients will tell you, I do not answer to the scale in your bathroom. I do not care what your scale says. Is your body fat percentage healthy? And what are your blood markers? And when you can start to think about your health and fitness from that perspective, it becomes a lot easier to shed the chains of what other people think about you and what other people think you should be as a Black woman. Oh, you too skinny, or whatever. Culturally, I don't care. When I drop the chains of what it means to be a Black woman, oh, I'm supposed to have this big butt and look like Hottentot, like, you couldn't be me. Couldn't be me, because the reality is health has nothing to do with how big you are, and health has everything to do with what is your body fat percentage. Are you mobile? Right? What you gonna do with all that junk in that trunk? You can't run from the police if you need to. You can't chase after your child if you need to. How is that healthy? But culturally, we are weighed down by what is okay in what is considered Black, what is considered Latina? What is considered XYZ? And so subconsciously, here's the insight part. Subconsciously, we won't lose the weight because we are scared that somehow our identity will be lost because we have identified the way that our body looks with who we are and our culture or our race. And this is, you guys, this is one of the biggest things I struggle with when I work with my clients. They are like, oh, they're just so scared of their butt. And I'm like, do you not care about your health though? By the way, you can shape and curve your body, but I'm always going to advocate for you to have a lower body fat percentage first. And then we can work on building muscle in that area and making sure, things like that. But I'm never going to off the bat be like, well, let me make sure that you stay 190 pounds so you can be considered thick at 5'3". Baby, that's not okay. It's not okay. Okay. So culturally, we have to step outside of what our culture says is okay. And this actually relates to food too, you guys. Oh my gosh. I'm drinking my LaCroix. This is a food issue too. My Black clients and my Hispanic clients talk about this a lot. Because culturally, our foods are not healthy. Can we talk about it? They're not healthy. And there's going to be some people in here who are like, oh, that's the white man's food. No. Anytime you have excessive amounts of fat, carbs, sugar, refined oils, hydrogenated oils, it's not healthy. That's a textbook classic definition of health, right? So if your foods are laden with those products, which a lot of them are, you are now just eating in the interest of what everybody else thinks is okay versus your health. And so culturally, my clients have to really they've really started to have to break down what it means to be Mexican. We literally have this conversation, what it means to be Black. Baby, I'm Black because I have a lot of melanin in my skin and my hair is C4C. I don't need to eat cornbread and rice and beans, and no, I love my rice and beans. Those are not healthy. Those are healthy. My ham hocks and chitlins and macaroni and cheese, and I don't need to eat that to be Black, right? But culturally, there's this thing, and I actually had a client. She was struggling with some health issues. Spicy foods, and her family was like, well, are you even really Mexican because you don't eat spicy food? Or she was changing her diet, and so she wasn't eating some of the more fatty meats that are in culturally that people eat. And it was this whole thing about, oh, you're like not one of us anymore. And I'm telling you, babe, like you have to start to not care. And that is the biggest thing, is separate your culture from your body and the way that you eat. You are who you are because you are who you are. When you check that census box, they don't ask you if you ate chitlins or ham hocks or mac and cheese. They say, are you Black or are you not? Okay, that it doesn't matter. But we've got a culture where our health is not a focus. And so it's all about the physical appearance and what you're eating and this and that. And we've got to separate ourselves from that. Okay. So the first one is culturally, you've got to separate yourself. I've just talked about that. Number 2, in Black culture, particularly, I'll tell you, mental health has not been a priority. And so emotionally, a lot of Black women, including myself, have learned to use food and alcohol as a method of managing emotions. And actually, I would venture to say that this is also just like an American thing too, where we are not emotionally fit enough to be physically fit. Let me say that again. We are not emotionally fit enough to be physically fit. What do I mean by that? In order for food to just be food and for you to just enjoy it and then eat it and then move on, and for it not to have to be this amazing experience, you have to stop attaching emotions to food. If you have never learned how to process emotions, and I'm going to talk about the Black church and I'm going to talk about Black families in just a second, but if you have never learned how to emotionally separate yourself from food, You will always use food as a tool for when you're happy, when you're sad, when you're angry, all of it. And that will keep you in a cycle of obesity and and being overweight. In the Black culture, the majority, traditionally, mental health, managing emotions is not a priority. For me growing up, it was like, don't cry, don't have emotions, don't no, we don't need to talk about your feelings. And so the messaging you get as a child is that feelings are bad, but you're not taught where to go. You're not taught where they should go. And if you're not taught where your emotions should go, you are inevitably going to try and stuff them down in some way. And that's usually in the form of food, alcohol, drugs, sex, and relationships. And that's why my coaching actually ends up being like a full life coaching package, because when we get to the heart of it, it's like this weight issue is affecting your relationship. It's affecting, the way that you relate to others. It's affecting the way you relate to yourself. It's so much more than just weight loss. So emotionally, a lot of women are still not taught how to process emotions. Women who know how to process emotions can lose weight like this because they don't have food. Food is not they're not a slave to food. They're not a slave to food. You guys, if this is resonating, can you just leave a little comment in the chat? If this is making sense to you guys, leave a comment, let me know. This is making sense in the chat. So emotionally, if you're not emotionally fit, you're going to have a hard time losing weight. The women who have gotten rid of their cultural expectations, oh, this is what you need to eat, look like XYZ to be fit, weight comes off easily. The women who are emotionally fit, weight comes off easily because they know that food is never going to solve their emotion problems. They know that food is never going to be the thing that dissolves those emotions. And, if you're interested in more information about that, I have a food mindset course, and I should actually just throw it in the chat for you guys right now, so that you guys can grab that. It's like $30, which is super undervalued. The stuff in this course is stuff that this course should be $100. I don't know why I priced it so low, but it is what it is, and I can't change it now. This price is so ridiculous for the amount of information that you get. And the reason is because I've been there and I know exactly what your brain is saying. I know. So changing your food mindset, changing your emotional attachment to food is key to losing weight quickly. Okay. So I just threw it up in the chat there, and I'll try to remember to comment on there myself and add that. Okay. So we've talked about culturally. We've talked about emotionally. Oh, I wanted to add the Black church. Whew. We be spiritually bypassing. You guys, I made a video. There's a video called spiritual bypassing. And I talked about how instead of processing emotions, we'll slap a Bible verse on things and be like, joy in the Lord. They go like Christianese, joy in the Lord, I'm happy. And then meanwhile, we're at home chugging down alcohol and stuffing our face with Cinnabons. Because we have still not processed emotions. And in the church, again, mental health is not a priority. What's a priority is you need to look saved and act saved, which is not on the face value a problem. But if we're just telling people to put on an outward shell of salvation and how to act right, they're gonna struggle with the true internal issues that come with being stressed, being angry, having trauma. We're not actually teaching them how to process those emotions. And there's a very specific way to do this. It's in my confidence course that'll be out in a minute. So yes, you need to be able to emotionally and spiritually deal with your emotions before you can lose weight quickly. The women who do not use Bible verses, or even those people who are like universe people, like New Age, I guess is what you call them, they'll do it too. They'll be like trying to say mantras over their actual trauma. And it's like, no, you got to dig that out so that you're not repressing it, because emotions are smart. They come out any which way they want to. So you might as well process them out the right way so that that issue is not coming out with food. Right. And the last thing I want to talk about is women who lose weight easily are women who don't have judgments about other women. I remember when I was starting to go on my health and fitness journey, the amount of comments oh, you're selfish. You can't, you know, what else do people say? Besides you're selfish because I was taking care of myself. You're too skinny. You can't be happy. You're not enjoying your food, whatever. And then you guys, my mom has 8 children. My parents have 8 children. And it there's this weird thing with mothers where it's like if you're fit and healthy, it's almost like you must be neglecting your children. So you're judging other people. Now, you can judge people because that's biblical. But here's where judgment gets you in trouble. If you judge that woman with 8 kids for being fit and healthy, and you were like, oh, she don't take care of her kids, she's selfish, she must not spend, then you really won't be able to do it because you cannot go against your own judgment. So now you've trapped yourself in a box that says, I have to be overweight because that validates me as a mother. If you've judged me, if you judge other healthy women and said, oh, they must not have a life, or you have now trapped yourself where you cannot lose weight because you have judged other women for doing the same, other women for being healthy. And this is actually something that is really hard for people to grasp. Like they don't realize that that's what's happening. But this is key, you guys. This is key. You have to be able to be okay with whatever you are doing. And one of the ways you do that is you release that judgment from other people. I will judge people according to the right things. I'm not judging you based on your fitness because that's not an area that I care about. And I want freedom in my own life in that area. Okay. So it's so important that you examine yourself in these 4 areas. Say, is there something culturally that's holding me back, that has me stuck in this cycle where I will gain weight and then, lose it and then gain it and lose it because culturally I don't believe that I'm acceptable if I've lost weight? Emotionally, am I emotionally attached to food? Am I emotionally attached to food culturally and then just in general? What do I believe about food? Spiritually, are you spiritually cut off to where you are not allowed, you can't process your emotions? You can't talk to God about your emotions? You haven't asked for healing in that area. You've been covering up your emotions with mantras or, Bible verses instead of dealing with them. And lastly, what judgments do you have that have kept you in a box? Right? So, by the way, you guys, I have a new fitness challenge coming out. It's called Not Another Fitness Challenge because I am so sick of fitness challenges. I'm over fitness. What this is this is a challenge for you to change your life. And of course, as a result, your fitness and health will flourish. This is for you to decide it's time. It's time for me to let go of the cultural expectations of what I should and should not be eating and drinking, because that's one of the main reasons why people can't lose weight is they're attached to their culture. They're like, oh, my culture says I have to eat, fatty foods, or I'm not Black, or I'm not Mexican, or I'm not Asian. Well, then good luck losing weight. Good luck being healthy. Not that you can't have those things in moderation, but a lot of people are culturally attached to that. What is your emotional state? What things you need to say to yourself? What things you need to think about? What boundaries do you have with friends and family? We're going deep, you guys. This is not going to be about, another workout plan or another diet plan, because the truth is y'all already know what to do. You guys have so many, you've probably done it. You've done all the fitness plans. You've watched all the YouTube channels. You've done all of the healthy eating plans, but for some reason it hasn't stuck. And so now we're going deep. We're going to be talking about confidence. We're going to be talking about self-esteem. We're going to talk about how to set goals that actually work. SMART goals are dumb. I hate them. You guys know this. I don't like them. They're not useful. We're going to be talking about, what are the cultural implications? What are the spiritual implications? How do we change from the inside out so that we never have to think about losing weight again? I'm going to go ahead and throw that course up in the chat as well. It starts on October 1st. So this is actually going to be, This is actually going to be a 12-week course that we're going to do. So I'm going to get in there, live sessions, 12 weeks. We're going to dive deep into how to actually change your life. This is not just about fitness. It's because the reality is fitness ain't even about fitness. Can we talk about it? Fitness is not even about fitness. Fitness is really, and health is really about your emotional state of being and how you relate to the world. And once you can manage that, how do you manage emotions? How do you get rid of the traumas that keep you held back? Once you can do that, health and fitness is not even an issue. It's not an issue. What spiritual practices do you need to put in place so that you can protect your mind, body, and spirit, so that you're not thinking about food, so that you're not thinking about, your body? That's what we're going in. We're going deep. And this is honestly like such a cheap price for what we're doing. So I'm going to drop it here in the chat. You guys can sign up. It's on pre-order right now. We're starting. Let me see, drop that there. I'm super excited. If you guys have questions, you guys can go ahead and go into the chat and ask those questions. One of the common questions I get is, well, what about your hormonal, like what if I'm having, hormone issues and I have a low thyroid? And to you, I say, that's exactly why you need this challenge, because the reality is, in order to overcome your hormone imbalance issues, you're going to have to gain weight. You're going to have to eat the proper foods. And that's still under the same umbrella. And actually, most people who think they have thyroid issues have an undereating problem or a wrong food choices problem. Because your body's super resilient. It knows how to fix itself on a dime. But you have to be willing to break the chains of cultural bondage, emotional bondage, spiritual bondage, and the judgments you have in order to actually take that road to be a healthy person. Okay. One of the other common questions I get is, how much weight is safe to lose? And when we go into this challenge, Not Another Fitness Challenge, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the fact that the goal should never be to lose weight. The goal should be to get healthy. Because when you have a weight loss goal, you're looking for an outcome that might end. The goal should be to be healthy. And the other thing is that I don't care what your weight is. Again, you guys know, I do not answer to the scale in your bathroom. I answer to your body fat percentage and I answer to your blood markers. So I really don't care how much weight you lose. I care whether or not you're getting healthy. That's the most important thing. And health does not start with a number on the scale. It starts from the inside out. And you guys, once you deal with the stuff that's going on inside, your outer world changes. Your outer world changes. There's nothing can change that. Once you deal with your own boundaries, your own confidence, your own life, nothing can stop you. You are going to automatically become a healthier person because you will start making decisions from a place of empowerment instead of a place of fear, instead of a place of lack. And that's what happens when you start working from the inside out. And that's why I do what I do. And when I said I'm over fitness, I'm over, competitions, I'm over all of that. It's like, let's get to the heart of why all these women can't lose weight. We've got some cultural attachments that we need to let go of. We've got some emotional attachments that we need to let go of. We've got some spiritual bypassing going on. And we've got a lot of judgment that is keeping us trapped. All right, you guys, if you enjoyed this live or if you have questions, I see there's a few people on here. If you guys have questions, I'll give you a few minutes because I know there's a delay. Okay. So it looks like we are good. I've left both of the courses in the chat, you guys, that would be helpful related to this topic. I'm so thankful for those who came on live. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.